Okay. So I thought today you remember we went through a lot of stuff last time we met. So I wanted to summarize for you the main teachings of Gita. Okay. And I put it together on a slide and I'm going to share that with you. We'll go through it. This is our North Star. This is where we want to be. Okay. This is what ultimately we hope that we will get there. But it's good to know that in advance. Okay. So if you don't understand it fully, doesn't matter. It takes its time. We can keep referring back to it as we go along.
Hey, Nitu, 1 second. Where's Mummy Masi?
Mummy is not, you want mummy? Mummy is not joining. Unko mushkil hoti hai, Didi.
Acha.
So she listens to the recording.
Okay.
But next time I'll encourage her to join. Maybe she can sit with me.
That's
It'll be
fine.
easier for her. Okay. So let me share this with you. Okay. Right. So we'll start with what is the main teaching of Gita, just to kind of remember again, because we went through it last time, but I'm just putting it down in one page. Then we'll go to the homework that I gave, and we'll discuss what we heard last time. Okay, about the jiva and so on. And then, if depending on how much time we have, we will move forward. But it's important that we understand rather than just go quickly. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start with the teaching of the Gita. So what is Gita telling us? Bottom line, what Gita is telling us, or actually what Vedanta is telling us, both are the same. Gita is another scripture of Vedanta. So it's saying that we are whole and eternal. Happiness is our nature. Our happiness arises spontaneously when our mind is free from agitation. Now, this is a nice little statement, but it's 180 degrees from the way we've been brought up to think. Because the way that we've been brought up to think, let me wear my other glasses, you can see more clearly. The way we've been brought up to think is happiness depends upon accomplishments. The more successful you are, the more happy you are. Your job is to learn more, to grow, to become a better human being, all of that, right? That is what we've been brought up with. Nothing wrong in that. That is still true. It's always good to grow. It's always good to become better. Accomplishments are great. Success is great. And Gita is very much in favor of hard work, discipline, success. That's the way to live. But don't expect happiness from those things. That's what Gita is trying to tell us. There's a difference between success and happiness. The happiness that we get is from ourselves. So I'm quite sure that this is not easy to get, not easy to grasp, but this is what Gita is telling us. And slowly as we go through Gita and we look at this statement from various angles, which Gita will make us look, we'll get more and more clear about it. Then it's saying that what causes sorrow? It says our ignorance of our nature causes us sorrow. Knowledge of our nature leads us to bliss. And the systematic pursuit of self-knowledge is called Gyan Yoga. You must have heard of Gyan Yoga. Gyan Yoga means that systematically, if you pursue self-knowledge, Atma Vichar, self-inquiry, all this is Gyan Yoga. So now, why does it say that ignorance of our nature leads to sorrow? Is because we are led to believe, and we believe that we are a limited being. In fact, actually, let's go to the next thing for that. Did someone wanted to join? Hold on 1 second. Okay, Kiki is going to join. Hi, Kiki.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt in the
That's
middle.
fine. That's fine. We just got started.
Okay,
So we're
excellent.
starting with, I was going to, we went through this last time also, but I was going to remind everyone of what is Gita's main teaching. So I've got 4 points on a slide and I want to take them through. And you probably are already aware of this, so not new for you. So the third point is that the teaching is difficult to grasp by an unprepared mind. So second and third are kind of together. So it's saying is from a long time, we have believed that we are transient beings and must depend upon external means for our happiness. External means some success, some object, something else. This has weakened our mind and diminished our confidence. Because this is also important, because we really, if you ask anybody, who are you and what will happen to you, what is your state, and they'll say, I'm this body and mind, I'm small, the world is huge, Ishwar is big, I'm small, I have a few years to live, I want to make the most of my life in these few years. After this, I'm gone, I'm done, my existence is over. And there's a constant dread. So this creates a constant dread in our mind that our existence is over. And it also tells us that we are small. Our message to ourselves is, we are small. We need to do something to become big. So subconsciously, this is our message. If Steve Jobs has created Apple, and if Elon Musk is doing all the things he's doing, my guess is that somewhere in their heart, they feel, I am small. I need to do something to prove to others and to prove to myself that I mean something, that I have some meaning. So, and this is true for all of us. So because we are in this state, and we've been in this state for a very long time, when somebody, even Gita, comes and tells you, you know what, you don't need any external things for happiness. You are happiness. Your nature is happiness. We will not believe it. First, we won't grasp it. Second, even if we grasp it, we will not internalize it. And it will not affect, we will not be able to do anything with it, with that knowledge. It will not transform our lives. Our idea is to transform ourselves, right? To be happy. We won't be able to do that. So Gita completely recognizes this. And the beauty of Gita is that the majority of Gita tells you how to overcome this. It tells you the Gyan also, the first point also it tells you, but the most of it tells you how to overcome this. And what is that? That is Karam Yoga. So Gita tells you a way. It says there is something called Karam Yoga, which you can do to strengthen your mind. So we all know about Karam Yoga, right? And we will learn it in more detail as we go along. But the purpose of Karam Yoga is to strengthen our mind. It's a way of living. It's not a discipline that you do for 2 hours, like, meditation kari or khatam ho gaya. It's a way of living. This is how we live. It affects every part of our life. And it emphasizes right action, de-emphasizes our obsession with the fruits of the action. It makes the mind tranquil and prepares it for self-knowledge. That is the purpose of Karma Yoga. And it's not something which you do as a sacrifice or as a duty. You do it if you know that your objective is self-knowledge, because then this is the way to get that knowledge. So that is why, last time I was saying, most people won't do this because they continue to believe that my happiness lies with all the objects of the world. My happiness lies with my children, how they grow when they grow up, and then my happiness lies with my parents and with me and my husband and my wife or whatever, all the things, with my money, with my house. So if you think that way, and then we tell you, hey, don't focus on the results, focus on the action, it will make no sense to you. Because the results are what matter to you. The results of your action are what are bringing you your success and your accomplishment. Then you'll say, hey, there's something wrong in this. Okay, Gita says, मैं थोड़ी देर के लिए कर लूंगी. You'll try for a few here and there half-heartedly, and then you'll give up. But if you already come to realize that actually that is not true, I have seen life a little bit, and I realize that I need something more than these objects because they don't give me permanent happiness. Then you'll say, okay, I want to, my goal is to calm my mind down. My goal is to give some tranquility to my mind, to make it objective, to make it stronger. That then becomes more important to you than the fruits of the action, because you know that that is the path to self knowledge. So then you're making a very judicious, wise choice. You're not sacrificing anything. You're choosing what you think is more important over what you think is less important. You always do that. We always choose what we think is more important over what we think is less important. If we think that worldly accomplishments are more important, we will never choose Karam Yoga. If we think that tranquility of our mind, peace of mind is more important, and I want to do that so that I can become happy, I can get self knowledge, that is my route to happiness, then the more important part is this. Then you will choose Karam Yoga, because that is the only way. You have to strengthen your mind. Our minds are very weak. We may think, we may not realize how it is, but all the anxieties, all the worries, all the obsessions, the fears, the greed, it has really made our minds weak. We, it takes us a while to realize it. And then you have to say, okay, how do I kind of get back from here? And that's Gita's way, that is Karam Yoga. And Gita goes a long way into Karam Yoga. It talks a lot about Karam Yoga. So, we'll talk about that. So then what is the path forward in terms of Gita? Together, Gyan Yoga and Karam Yoga together leads us to liberation, which is called moksha. That is what is the definition of moksha. One definition of moksha is not to be reborn again. But that's a strange definition of moksha. To a person who's a samsari, you tell him moksha is not to be reborn. He'll say, no, Swamiji used to say, he says, if I tell you right now, I'll give you moksha just now, will you take it? You'll say, no, I'll take it tomorrow. I'm okay. I don't want this moksha. Nobody wants to not be reborn. Why would you not be reborn? You just want to be happy. So moksha is called, another name for moksha is Jivan Mukta, Jivan Mukti. That means be happy in this Jivan. Live a life free in this Jivan. Mukti ke saath raho. खुशी के साथ रहो. This moment खुशी के साथ रहो. उसके बाद अगर दोबारा जिंदगी आएगी तो why not? Very, very welcome. ना आएगी तब भी ठीक है. So that is moksha. Okay. So I just wanted to summarize from last time. Nothing really new here, but it's good to have it all together.
So from the last from the videos. So the subtle body.
Yes.
Subtle body is you, and it doesn't go away. Is it the same thing as we normally talk about soul? Is that the same thing?
Yes, I would say what Christians call soul.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it's closest to subtle body.
Yeah. And then you also, in the text messages that we had, Atma is one. There's no multiple Atmas. Atma is one.
Right.
And I'm trying to understand, how can soul be one? Because different souls have different karmas associated with it. Soul being,
so soul is not Atma.
Yeah. So, okay, subtle body.
Yes.
Subtle body, you said, is also one.
No.
Yeah, subtle bodies are different, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Subtle body is your, it's like Tony's subtle body.
Yeah.
And Mita's subtle body and my subtle body, they're totally different. Just like physical bodies.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go through that again just now in a minute. But in the meanwhile, any immediate question on what we just went through?
Will it tell us how to do this Karam Yoga? How to start thinking about?
Yeah, that is what Gita is all about.
Nitu, one other question. I thought that whether you do Karam Yoga or Gyan Yoga or Raj Yoga or whatever, all of them are the paths that lead to self-knowledge. That it's not Gyan Yoga and Karam Yoga together that lead to liberation. I thought that any of those that you do, Bhakti Yoga or whatever, any of those could be fine.
Yeah, I mean, see, Karam Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, in Gita, they clubbed it all together and called it Karam Yoga. And you'll see they're basically the same thing. ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं है. थोड़ा बहुत इधर-उधर का फर्क है, but
from Gyan Yoga. Karam Yogi is the one, in my mind at least, this is what I know of, is when you're just doing something for the sake of doing it and saying, I'm not looking for the fruit of action. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. And because whatever, I'm dedicating it to God or Ishwar or whatever you want to call it. But Gyan Yoga is different.
Yes.
So
that's what I'm going to say. I was saying Gyan Yoga, मैंने कहा था Karam Yoga, Dhyan Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are similar. Okay? I didn't say Gyan Yoga. Gyan Yoga is different.
So Gyan and Bhakti Yoga are similar?
No. Karam, Bhakti, Dhyan.
Karam, Bhakti, Dhyan.
Dhyan Yoga matlab meditation.
Yeah.
They're all sadhanas. They're all things that you do to strengthen your mind in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So Gita tells you to do all of them. Right? It puts them in a bucket called Karam Yoga. But Gyan Yoga is different. And you need to do both. This idea that you can do any one and it will lead you to moksha is incorrect in many, many ways. It's incorrect because each one has a different purpose. And it's also incorrect because nothing will lead you to moksha. You're already in moksha. You need to know that you are free. That is just a matter of knowledge. You can't. But again, Didi, we will talk a lot more about this. Okay. But for now, the Gyan Yoga and is one kind of sadhana, which is self-inquiry. Gyan Yoga means self-inquiry. You want to know yourself, your real nature. The other stuff is all things that you do to strengthen your mind so that you can know yourself. That's all. To remove the impurities from the mind.
With Karam Yoga, you can attain the Gyan Yoga, right?
You prepare your mind. Karam Yoga helps you strengthen your mind. You have a lot of, Karam Yoga, basically what it says is Anta Karna Shuddhi. That means the impurities of your mind. That means you have all these desires and fears and all these little things, anxieties. It helps you get rid of them. That's the purpose of Karam Yoga. When you get rid of those things, your mind becomes more objective. Then you can understand what the teaching of, then you can do your self-inquiry better. Right now, you can't. Right now, if I tell you, hey, Billu, you are happy as you are, and your real nature is Atma, and you are one with everything, it will make no sense to you. It won't, because you are so consumed by the thought that I am my body and this mind. How can I be anything else? And that's because you have an ego. You have desires. You have things to do. You have, all these things are there. So you have to first address those things before Gyan Yoga is going to make an impact on you. So that's why I'm saying I'm sharing this with you. This is just to keep it in the back of your mind. This is the goal of Gita and the goal of Vedanta. For us right now, Gyan Yoga is going to be of limited use at this moment. We'll spend a lot of time on the Karam Yoga part. How should we live our life? What does Gita say? How we should live our life? That is Karam Yoga. How to dutifully live your life, how to focus on the action, not the result. All these things are Karam Yoga.
Isn't that Gyan Yoga too? I mean, learning how to live your life.
Yes, that is Gyan Yoga. Yeah, but specifically in Vedanta, when we say Gyan Yoga, we are talking about a particular kind of Gyan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is the Atma Gyan.
Mm-hmm.
Because even learning physics is Gyan Yoga, right? Yeah. Learning chemistry is also Gyan Yoga. Learning how to cook is also Gyan Yoga.
Sure.
But we are not talking about those kind of Gyans.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay, they are called Apara Gyan. And the Gyan we are talking about is called Para Gyan. But that is just a technical term. But we are specifically talking about knowledge about yourself. Mm-hmm. What liberates is self-knowledge, not the knowledge of how to live your life. That doesn't liberate. How to live your life gives you a prepared mind. It makes your mind tranquil. It soothes your mind. It makes your mind stronger if you live correctly. But a person who's a Karam Yogi, who does his duty, who's living well, doesn't have Gyan, doesn't have self-knowledge. Not necessarily. Self-knowledge has to be gained by a systematic pursuit called Gyan Yoga.
Okay.
On the Karam Yoga, you know, it may be at the micro level, I don't know, but I struggle with this all the time. I believe in it, but I struggle with it, which is do your actions, do the right thing, and the result will come. But what happens is, if you don't get the right results, you change your actions. Is that at a very micro, minute level versus at a higher level? Because you live your life on the basis of actions and reactions, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So you do the right actions, and maybe you don't get the right result, then you change your actions a little bit to get the right result.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. You should do that. So let's talk about that, right? So
that's like total quality management. You assess your root cause and then go back and find what you haven't done right.
I think, yes, and everything that you're doing right now, to be a Karam Yogi, you have to change nothing in what you're doing. You're a good manager, Tony Bhaiya. That's why you got to a level where you got to. So obviously, you have a way to do things. You have a way to analyze the actions. You have a way to correct yourself, look at feedback. All that needs to be done. What Karam Yoga says is, when you do this, let's say that there are two kind of Tony Bhaiyas. One, you do the same thing. You both risen through your company. You both had great achievements. One Tony Bhaiya feels, I have to do this because otherwise I won't be happy. Because my success depends on, am I becoming a CEO or not? Do I have a big house? What do my friends think of me? Because if I don't, and you can obsess over them, and those things become so important that that's all you think about. That is not Karam Yoga. You do the same actions, exactly the same thing that you did at your work, and do all the change your course as needed, do the right thing, but never feel that you're doing it in order to become happy. You're doing it in order to do the right thing and to make your mind calmer. Your objective, ultimate objective to yourself, to your boss, you can give whatever objective you want. But when you are sleeping at night and you are talking to your God, your own objective is not that I'm doing it because these things will make me happy. You know already that these things are not going to make you happy. They'll make you happy for a little bit, but it's not the end result of it all. In the end, what makes you happy is your peace of mind.
Yep.
When you have that notion in your mind and do the same things, it is Karam Yoga.
Yep. Got it.
You don't even have to
one more thing,
anything.
Tony Bhai, what he said, that you change your actions to have a different reaction. Even if you will change your reactions, even if you change your action, you will not go the wrong path. That will still be the right path. So
yes.
The reaction, yes, may be different because maybe you've done things differently, but they're still done in the right way and not by cheating or by ਅੱਛਾ ਇਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਐ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੀਟ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਲੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਪਏ ਹੋ ਪਰ you've just followed a different path, but that is also the right path. Maybe what was not what you thought first, now this is the right path, but you're not doing the path which is going to be cheating somebody or going to do harm to somebody. So that is also the same. So see, you're doing another action to get another reaction, but that is also a right action, not a wrong action. Your good self will not let you allow you to do a wrong action.
No, not always, because if you get obsessed with the results,
if you get obsessed, then you're not doing the correct
action.
Yeah,
we've
then
all
you're
done
not
wrong
the
actions,
Karam
Billu.
Yogi.
All
Then
of us,
you're
if you
not
look.
No, then you're not being the Karam Yogi, right? Karam Yogi is doing the right path. So you may have taken a different path, but it's still in your mind the right path. You're not taken a wrong path to bring another reaction to the action.
See, the Karam Yogi means that you are not obsessed with results. If you're not obsessed with the results, you will never take the wrong path.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You may take another path, but that will not be the wrong path. That is still a Karam Yogi. You may change your path, but it will not be done the wrong way.
But Nitu, can you be obsessed with results and the results being, I mean, you mentioned Elon Musk. I mean, he's obsessed with results, but that alone doesn't make it bad. What makes it bad is that you get obsessed with results and then your mind doesn't come at peace because you're on to the next. If the first result has been accomplished, you're on to the next and your mind is still very agitated. You can be
Yes.
obsessed with results but not have agitation of mind, or is that not possible?
But if you're obsessed, you're already agitating in your mind, right?
See,
The obsession is leading to that agitation.
right. The only reason why you'll be obsessed, and maybe obsessed, you have to choose the word, whichever works for you. The question is, what are you expecting from your results? Are you kind of saying that they are so important that I'll do anything for them? That is sort of obsession.
Yeah, but so again, just to understand this a little deeper,
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk's case, he went almost broke, which is being obsessed with it at no matter what cost, and he came out of it multiple times. So what does that mean?
It means nothing. See, again, I was saying on the surface, it means nothing. The
Yeah.
question you have to ask Elon Musk is, throughout this process, what was his state of mind?
Yeah.
If his state of mind was calm and cool, and he said, these things don't matter, I'm doing the right thing. I go broke, I'm going to do the right thing. That'll be a state of mind which is
I hear you. I understand. Yeah, in his case, it seems to me is his state of mind not good. He's on drugs, so
yeah, exactly. So clearly his accomplishments have not made him happy.
Yeah, right.
Right. I don't think there is any. That's an easy case for us to see.
Yeah.
Trump's accomplishments have not necessarily made him happy.
Yeah.
Actually, if you find most people around us, you can say the same thing.
Yeah.
But really, the only person who knows is the person himself.
Yourself.
So whether you're a Karam Yogi or not, as they say, either you will know or your guru will know. Between other than those two people, nobody else will know.
Yeah.
But
One
they
other
say the big
question.
thing that, I mean, people who do this, it's to get worldly recognition. I mean, they are not doing it that's not contentment. They are doing it to get fame.
Well,
and
some
that's
people
not,
are, not everybody.
like Elon Musk, for example, Donald Trump, for instance. I mean, they're doing what they're doing to get fame and, be successful. And that is not what you mean, right?
No, not at all. So that is why they are not Karam Yogis, right?
Yeah. So that is not Karam Yoga. Karam Yoga, you said, is to get inner peace and contentment.
Correct. And the hallmark of a Karam Yogi is that on the surface, the person will seem like completely involved with the world, fully engaged, doing everything, successful even, great. But inside, he is at peace.
Yeah.
That is the hallmark of a Karam Yogi.
Yeah.
That's why it's called a Karam Yogi.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And it is not easy to do. The only way to do it.
Ambitiousness, then there wouldn't be that many achievements either, right? All those ambitious people who have done all these achievements, that is because they are so ambitious. Whether
there's
I don't know
nothing wrong
whether
in
they're
being
obsessed
ambitious.
or just ambitious.
Didi, there's nothing wrong in being ambitious. Ambition is a good thing, right? There's nothing wrong in it. The point is how are you approaching your ambition? Like to say that I want to build a new space craft which will take me to Mars. That's a great ambition, and a person will be very happy doing it.
To happen, these kind of achievements seem to come from people who have a very ambitious mind, an achieving mind. I don't know whether they're obsessed or not, but it sounds to me like they are obsessed.
Okay, like I said, you can't say.
Yeah.
And I would suggest, my suggestion to you is forget about those guys. Because this is about you, right? It's about what is working for you and what is not working for you. And it's about how you want to live your life. So we can sit here and speculate. But I mean, if you have to speculate, the examples that we get are Shri Krishna, Bhagwan Krishna. He was extremely ambitious. He single-handedly won the war for the Pandavas. He did all kinds of things. He did Hera Fairy also.
Yeah.
He did
But do you think he was not at peace? He was at peace. Duryodhan wasn't at peace.
Mm.
I mean, there's another example of Raja Janak, who was also a great example of a Karam Yogi. All these are examples in front of us, and so who, you can find your own example. If you feel Elon Musk is not the right guy, find a different example. But if you want to have a calm and peaceful mind, then you have to you understand at least what Karam Yoga is saying. And what Gita is saying is that the only way to do this, which is to be at peace with yourself when you're doing everything, achieving everything, is by focusing on the right action and not focusing on the results. That means not having a correct expectation from what the result is going to get you. The result is going to get you a new car or whatever you're making. Let's say Elon Musk is making an electric car. It will get him an electric car. It'll be a nice thing. But Elon Musk should not count on that car or whether the success of making that car for his happiness. Because we don't know whether that car will come across or not. And he will have hundreds of failures. So is he going to be miserable all through? Anyway, that's what Karam Yoga is. Not sit on your couch and do nothing. Don't be ambitious.
You are going to tell us in future in the next lessons how to be a Karam Yogi.
Yes, so we talk about how to be a Karam Yogi.
We can move forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, Gita tells you, and there are a lot of corporate examples of Gita. If we were I can look back on my life. If I was a Karam Yogi, I'd be much more successful. Much more successful, because I was so worried, of failure, that I didn't take the risks that I needed to take. Because for me, I thought, okay, what I've got, I don't want to lose, because that's very important for me. I got this, I don't want to lose it. So I was focused on that. Whereas if I was not worried about those things, if I had known that my happiness is not completely dependent upon my portfolio, I would have probably said, what is it that I want to do, really want to do? Go for it. Right? You can't do this if you're not a Karam Yogi. Maybe Elon Musk did it. And at the time when he did it, he didn't have, he was much more innocent, much more, now he has changed. And everybody changes with success also. That's the other thing.
Power gets to you, money gets to you.
Money gets to you. Yeah. But Karam Yoga is a thing which facilitates success. It does not hold you back from success. Actually, what I found, Tony Bhaiya, I don't know whether you agree. My own feeling is that how much a person accomplishes is dependent mainly on their level of anxiety. Level of anxiety. How much stress can you take?
Nitu, I say that all the time. I totally.
You say that too? Okay, I mean that's
all
that matters.
Yeah, exactly. It's your ability to handle stress.
Ability to handle stress, because every initiative you will take means you're bringing on more stress. A Karam Yogi has a fantastic, infinite ability to handle stress.
That is one of the reasons I also say that the Indians have a better ability to be great leaders, because they have been taught this principle. Whether they follow it or not is a different thing, but inherently they have been taught this principle, which is awesome.
Yeah. So it's a great thing. That's what Karam Yoga is. Okay.
And the other thing also, in this, and certainly there are a lot of very accomplished people here, even in the United States, who fit that role. I mean, they are unassuming. They are good with people. They are good with societies. They are good with all that, and they don't do me. There are a number of those people, and they are highly successul. Very
Modi is also one of them.
No, he's not. I don't.
I think Modi is a Karam Yogi.
Okay. Anyway, but that's the point of what Karam Yogi means. And again, like I said, really, we really should be focused only on ourselves. What is it that I want to be? If you want to, what your goal is, that's the most important thing.
So really, if you can overcome what you said, the fear, the ego, and the internal power, if you can overcome those, it's a pretty damn fine thing to do.
Yeah, and you can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Difficult, very difficult. That's where the gyan comes in.
Yeah, that's where the gyan comes in, and that's where the gyan helps you become a Karam Yogi. Because the more you think about it and the more you examine it, the sharper your mind will become, the clearer your objective will become. If you're clear in your objective, then Karam Yoga will become, you'll realize it, that's the only route you have. So you'll follow it. So, okay, because I want to kind of make sure we are understanding the concepts also. Did you get all these 4 points?
Yeah.
Every jiva has a subtle body. That's what makes a jiva. So I'm just going to quickly go through them. Because in Vedanta and Gita is all about experience. It's the center of Vedanta is experience. What am I experiencing? How do I experience? When do I experience? It's built around human experience. And every jiva has a subtle body because the difference between a jiva, a living thing, and a non-living thing is the ability to experience. It's not ability to grow. It's not ability to respond. I mean, we can mechanically make things which grow. And we can have robots which respond. They can sense and respond. What they can't do is experience. So that's why for that experience, you need a subtle body, and every jiva has a subtle body. Then the second point is the subtle body is the experiencer and the doer. So like I said, experience. So what is experiencing? Why is it that a robot can't experience? Because the robot doesn't have the subtle body. So the subtle body is what experiences. So Billu had this question, like if my leg is hurting, how's my mind the experiencer? And that you should know. You have to clarify in your mind. Whatever is you're hurting, the experiencer is always the mind. And I was giving you the example that you can be, your eye is seeing, right? Your eye sees, but that's just an instrument. The experiencer is the mind. You can be reading a book, and it happens to me all the time. I'm reading a book. I'm reading the lines. And after about 5 minutes, I realized, oh my God, I actually read them, but nothing registered because my mind was somewhere else. I was thinking about somewhere else. Then I have to go back and reread it. Right? Because although my eyes were working, everything was functioning. The experiencer was not experiencing. That's what happened. Right? And it's the other way around also. You know about people who, like in a dream, while we are dreaming, we don't know we are dreaming. We think we are in the real world. Actually, our body is completely still when we are dreaming. And all you doctors would know that there's a mechanism that works which actually literally paralyzes your body. Because you don't want, otherwise if you think you're running in your dream, you'll start running in actual life. But if you get hurt and something pinches your leg, you'll feel a very real pain. Just as real as if you were waking up. So it's in the mind.
But Nitu, have you noticed nothing bad ever happens to you in your dreams?
Talk for yourself.
How can you say such things?
Because
So many times I've had a bad dream and I'll actually get up trembling and with a headache.
No. You wake up at that time. Before the bad thing happens,
No,
that's going to
that
happen
thing
with you.
happens and that wakes you up.
What you're saying is you never died in your dream.
You can never
That's
die in your dream.
Yeah. Actually, you can, and what Gita tells you is you can never die in real life also. But that's a different issue.
Yeah.
Every time there is something bad, you wake up before that. At least that's what I have experienced.
Yeah.
Mika,
But
I
the
don't
point is that that's true. And
reality कभी-कभी लगता है बिल्कुल real है.
Yeah, like that, or you wake up.
हाँ, तो when you wake up, you've woken up because it seemed like a reality. And it shakes you up.
Yeah,
That is everybody's experience is different.
Yeah. No, but the point is that, and this is a very common example in Vedanta, which is the dream example, because dream is a good way to understand this. Everything, the point is that the mind is the experiencer. Let's leave it at that for now. right? And there are many ways, if you really think about it, you'll see many examples of it.
Nitu, when I get a cut in my leg because I hit something, that's physical, right?
It's physical, but what is experiencing the pain?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you can see these NFL players, they get hit so much when the game is going on.
Yeah.
They don't even know. They have they're like so engaged in the game. They have no idea.
No, but
When
Nitu,
they,
I even one more thing I read. They said that suppose a leg is hurting, you concentrate on that leg, and then you take your mind off and concentrate on the normal leg, which is not hurting. In a little while, you will feel that the pain goes away, but that is not my experience. If it is really paining, it keeps on paining. ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ mind ਦੂਜੀ ਲੱਤ ਤੇ ਲਗਾ ਲਓ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਦੂਜੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ. I think you really have to be very high up to be able to
no,
ignore
it's not कि तुसी मन लगा लो. मेरा मतलब कहना है कि you see people playing, na, athletes.
That I understand. That
Right.
time they are numbed totally,
Yeah, they're
and the
numb.
pain hits them later on. But
Yes.
that may be with the player. But when you are experiencing pain, a real severe pain in one part of the body, and you know that Chopra also, that fellow in his meditation thing also used to say, take your mind off that brain, off that leg, and put it on the other, which is a normal, and you keep on shifting, and suddenly you will realize that you're not experiencing the pain. But I think that to
No, anyway,
achieve.
that's not the point here. The point was just that the subtle body is necessary for experience. That's right.
But there's
Nitu,
also a syndrome, right? There's a syndrome a dangerous syndrome, where people who are hurt actually because of an issue cannot experience pain. I forget the name of that thing.
Yeah,
I
but that's
can't
because there
remember.
is something mechanically wrong in the nerves and things like that, right? Or are you talking about damage
But
to the
what I
mind?
mean is that even though physical stuff is happening, they cannot experience pain. So it's not that the pain is located in the physical body,
Yeah.
is what I mean.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, or people who have an amputated arm and they feel pain in that arm that has been amputated, right?
that's a pain.
Yeah.
That physical thing is not there, but the
Yeah.
mental
No, but see,
experience is
there
there.
the problem with that thing, because I thought about that too, it's called a phantom pain.
Yeah.
It's because the nerves which are carrying the pain, the sensation from the leg to you, they are activated one way or the other.
Mm.
Right? So the cause is still. So I'm saying even if everything is functioning totally fine and your mind is not there, you won't feel it. But yeah, but I mean there are many examples. Let's move on.
Nitu.
Uh,
I'm absolutely not clear about the differences between the Atma, the soul, the consciousness, and the subtle body. It's not clear to me.
okay. So because you know too much, Didi, that's why. So
No,
if you
I
go
don't.
one by one, so you, I'm saying because have you understood the subtle body?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
If you
Sort
understood
of.
the subtle body, then why?
Sort of.
Huh?
No, sort of. Explain
Sort of.
that again.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So let's focus on the subtle body for now. Make sure we understand it, and then we will definitely go to the Atma also.
Okay.
So the subtle body is made out of subtle matter. Okay, and I'll tell you what the subtle body consists of. So it consists of our mind, which is also called Antakarna. Antakarna means inner instrument. Our mind has 4 facets to it: Buddhi, Manas, Chit, and Ahamkar. And this is a very interesting concept, by the way. So don't get alarmed by all these names. What Vedanta tells you is that the mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. All thoughts put together become a mind. When there is no thought, there is no mind. Now, the thoughts are of 4 kinds. These thoughts can be very certain. The thoughts are, you have a certainty about them. I have no doubt. I know. My thoughts are pakka. That composition of the mind, when the thoughts are pakka, is called buddhi. Because knowledge, when you have knowledge, you don't have doubt. In your mind, you have pakka knowledge, you have certainty. So your mind, your thoughts are there's no option, there's no uncertainty. That's what is called buddhi. Buddhi comes from knowledge. Manas, which is another name for man, is when the thoughts have doubts. ये भी हो सकता है, वो भी हो सकता है. When the thought says, पता नहीं अच्छा है या बुरा है, I don't know, हो सकता है अच्छा है, हो सकता है बुरा है. When there is uncertainty and doubt, that collection, that same mind is called manas. If you see, जो मन जो होता है वो डाउट, मन तभी मन में होता है, वो विचलित हो गया मन. बुद्धि के टाइम कोई विचलित नहीं होता मन. Chitta is memories. When the thoughts are of things that happened in the past, when you're remembering things, that's chitta.
Past is your current life past or past even?
No, current life. You can't, the past life तो याद ही नहीं रहती. वो तो they are hidden somewhere in some deep subconscious. And ahamkar is a very special kind of thought when the thought is about yourself. And ahamkar is there all the time. There is a thought about myself. You're always thinking. In the back of every thought is a thought of yourself. That's ahamkar. अगर तुम कुछ देख रहे हो तो आपको लगेगा मैं देख रही हूं, मैं सुन रहा हूं. That मैं thought is ahamkar. And our ahamkar can be of any kind. One time you might say, oh, I'm such a perfect person. That's an I thought which is connected to a perfect person. Another time you might say, oh, I'm so silly. That's an I thought connected to silly. But it's still an I thought. There's always an I thought. And our life is dependent upon the nature of that I thought. It's also called ego, by the way, in English. But it's really an I thought. Ego is nothing but a thought. Okay. So these are the four parts of the mind. They're called the four thoughts, which is called man. Then we have pranas, which is, the life forces. Then we have the sense organs, sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and organs of action. These are the four components of the subtle body. So दीदी इसमें क्या है कि जो sense organs हम कह रहे हैं ना, sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, we are not talking about the physical eyes. Our subtle body also has an eye. So the signals go from the physical eye to the subtle eye. The sight happens in the subtle eye. So just like there's a physical body, there's a subtle body with all these things in there. And they don't go anywhere. In your next janam, this whole collection goes to the next physical body. All the experience, all your seeing, all your doing, all your intentions, all your karmas, all of them are actually happening in the subtle body. And they're being recorded and stored in the subtle body. The physical body is literally like a tool. It's like a forklift for moving things around. or a mic. You could have a robot as a physical body with all these things there. So physical body in our scriptures in Vedanta and all is just that. It's like a dress. You wear it, it gets dirty, kharab ho gayi, buri ho gayi, get a new one. But the real you is a subtle body. But like Tony Bhaiya said, it is still you, it is still distinct. This is different from Mita's subtle body is different from Tony's, his subtle body is different from mine. It's just that we are now acknowledging that when I say Tony, it's not the physical Tony, it's the subtle Tony, which is really important. Because all the experiences are happening there, the karmas are being recorded there. That is all we are saying. Now, Atma is different. Atma ke liye you have to ask the question, what gives life to the subtle body? Zinda ke chetna kahan se aayi? Consciousness, what makes the subtle body experience? Where does this feeling of experience kahan se aati hai? That comes from Atma. So one way to think about it, crude way of thinking about it is, let's say you have a fan, then you have a light, you have different electrical instruments all over. They're all subtle bodies. तुमको पता है इसका काम है लाइट देना, उसका काम है पंखा चला के हवा देना, लेकिन उनमें जान कहाँ से आती है? बिजली. The same बिजली goes through each one of them and enlivens them. With that bijli, the light suddenly starts giving light. Panka starts giving hawa. The radio starts speaking, you know. So the computer starts doing its work. So the zindagi, the tattva there, which is actually giving, enlivening all of those things, is just one bijli. Now you'll say, बिजली एक कैसे हो सकती है? बिजली तो एक ही है. वो जब बिजली जाती है लाइट में तो लाइट बना देती है. What is different is the subtle bodies. That's what Atma is. Atma is just consciousness. There is only one consciousness. It gives life to the different subtle bodies so that they can experience. And physical body is just a tool that the subtle body employs to facilitate its experience. With the physical body, it will कुछ सुन लेगा, मतलब जिंदगी के साथ इंटरेक्ट करना है, दुनिया के साथ इंटरेक्ट करना है. For that you need the physical body.
इस सटल बॉडी में जो आपने चार बोले, इसमें आत्मा का इसमें है ही नहीं वर्ड आत्मा का.
Atma is not part of a subtle body. Atma is its own body. Let me show you. This is Atma. You can say it's not even, it seems as if it is inside the subtle body, but actually it is not. I can make multiple subtle bodies here. Each one will have its own Atma. सबको लगेगा मेरी अपनी आत्मा है, लेकिन वो एक ही आत्मा है. मैं आपको एग्जाम्पल देता हूं, बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग एग्जाम्पल फॉर आत्मा. यू नो, यू हैव अ पॉट. टेक अ पॉट जिसमें आपने पानी भरते हो, राइट? एंड you know, every pot has a space in which you can fill stuff. So छोटा pot है, उसमें छोटी space होगी, कम चीजें आती हैं. बड़ा pot है, you have lot of space, you can put a lot of stuff in there. If I move this छोटा pot from one place to another, I am moving the pot, which is made out of clay, and the space in it, seems to me I'm moving the whole thing. I'm moving the pot and the pot space inside this pot, right? Because that is pot space. That's how we see, how we think. But in reality, there is only one space. There is no space which is only pot space. When you move the pot, you're not moving the space. Bada pot, choda pot, there is only one space. What is different is the pot itself, the body of the pot. It's the same thing. The subtle body is different, but there is only one Atma. हमको लगता है कि हमारी अलग से आत्मा है.
So Nitu, one thing. So everybody says that God resides in you. So is this Atma the same as like the God, which is one person who resides in everyone?
Yes, exactly.
So universal,
that's a good way
right?
to think about it. For now, we'll clarify this as we go along because there's some subtlety there. But for now, that's a good way to think about it.
Okay.
So Atma is the same in everyone?
There is only one Atma.
Okay. So
okay.
The same.
So
it's
whether
the
you can say it is the same,
right?
huh?
It's universal in everyone. It's the same.
Yes, there is only one Atma.
So see, electricity is a good example, Nitu, that you're giving, right?
That's an example for, it's the same thing. See, this is what is the difference between spirituality and materialism. There's a side point so that you understand this. There are two kinds of philosophies in this world. One philosophy is a materialism philosophy. It says that everything is made from matter. And the human consciousness somehow has evolved from matter. Matter ko leke somehow over time we've arranged it in different ways that's made organic molecules, and somehow we don't know how, but somehow consciousness evolved from matter. That is a materialistic philosophy. It says, what is one? Matter. It says everybody has the same matter at the end of the day. Electrons, protons, they're all the same. Whether the proton in Meeta and the proton in me is the same proton, I can exchange them, right? So at the end of the day, something is the same. This proton in Meeta is the same as the proton in this lamp. Materialism says, at the end of the day, matter is common. There's the same matter arranged differently has become different things. Spirituality is the other extreme, the other end. It says what is common is the spirit, which we call Atma. There is consciousness is the starting fundamental point of everything. Consciousness cannot be broken down. From consciousness, matter has evolved. That consciousness, that common consciousness from what everything has evolved is Atma. That's what Atma is.
So consciousness is Chetna?
Is Chetna. Sat Chitananda, Chetna. So Vedant कहते हैं कि consciousness is the fundamental entity of the creation. It drives everything in the creation. It also drives our subtle bodies so that the subtle bodies can experience. By the way, there's another example about consciousness, which is also very nice, which is light. We see everything around us, but what is necessary to be seen? In fact, actually, Swami ji हैं जिनके मैं सुनता रहता हूँ. He said that. He said, मैंने लोगों से पूछा, अपना हाथ दिखाया. मैंने कहा तुम अपना हाथ देखो. What do you see? So they'll say, I see some dirt, there's some bacteria, there are some lines, there is this, ये वो सब कुछ बता दिया. But he said what they missed out was they see light. That's what they're actually seeing. If there was no light, there would be no hand. What is hitting your eyes when you're seeing a hand? Light is hitting your eyes. Nothing else. Only light. The light has been made in different forms. In a particular form of the light, you see a hand. So Atma is like that. Atma is what makes everything click, everything work. It's what gives the power, the Chetna, to the subtle bodies.
So Atma and consciousness are the same then?
Yes. Atma, Chetna, consciousness, Brahma, all same. Brahman bhi kehte hain na, Brahma. Not
Yeah.
Brahma ji, but Brahman.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Ishwar, Bhagwan, jo marzi keh do.
Soul also, what do you say with the same?
No, soul is subtle body. Because soul is separate. Your soul is different from my soul. Soul is subtle body. So what goes now when we say मैं दोबारा पैदा होती हूँ, मर के दोबारा पैदा हो जाऊंगी, तो क्या पैदा होगा दोबारा? Not आत्मा. आत्मा तो कभी ना मरी है ना कहीं जा रही है. बिजली तो बिजली है. It's not gone anywhere. What will die? Definitely the physical body will die, because the subtle body is going to be reborn, is going to go to another place. So it's not really dead. It's just moving on to another place. It's moving on to another physical body. So the only thing that has died is the physical body. Most people think I'm the physical body, so they think, okay, I'm dead then. I'm done. But you know better. You know that you're not the physical body. You are the subtle body. So death means what? Death means the changing of physical bodies from one to another. That is death. So what moves? The subtle body moves. What is changed? Physical body. What enables the subtle body to experience? Atma. Right? What is changeless, will never change, will never move? Atma. There is no form. It doesn't have a form. अगर form ही नहीं है तो कैसे अलग अलग होगा? Form ही नहीं है. So how can one be an Atma for Billu and another Atma for Meeta? It's like bijli, like electricity.
So do you know what Atma is composed of? What is it?
That's what I was saying. I gave you the example of materialistic and spiritual. You can, if you say composed of, at the end of the day, even that which is composed of will be composed of something else. This is a non-going, unending chain. Therefore, Atma is something which has not been composed of anything. It exists. It was never born. It will never die. It can never change. It doesn't have a form. There are not two of them. There's only one of them, Advitya. That is Atma. It's the fundamental entity, the fundamental substance of everything. Not just Tony and Meeta, but of everything. Not
And
just
created by
you.
whom?
Huh?
Created by whom? From where it came?
That's what I'm saying. It
It
never
was
came
just
from
there.
anywhere. It is there because,
It
see,
was always there.
it was always there. It has not been created.
And when they say that the universe was created,
Yes.
so that is wrong.
No, universe is not Atma. You
So
were also
universe was
created.
created.
The universe created means we are talking about universe की भी subtle body होती है. वो बाद में बताएंगे हम. Abhi we'll go there. I didn't want to confuse you too much. But just like a human being has a subtle body, universe also has a subtle body. And universe, what we see is the physical universe. So the universe is also created. Created meaning it also is created and then it perishes. Right? Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. Srishti means creation. Sthiti means maintenance. Laya means dissolution. So the universe gets created and dissolved multiple times, just like our physical body gets created and dissolved and all that multiple times, right?
So does that mean that the Atma, because Atma is always there, has been there, never dies, is the Atma which has created the universe?
Yes. Meeta, badi smart ho gayi hai tu.
Oh.
It is, but you have to be careful what you mean by created.
Yeah.
This is a very different kind of creation, not the kind of creation where we create something. Not the way Elon Musk creates an electric car or a space rocket. This is a different kind of creation. It's a seeming creation. It's called mithya. It's a seeming creation.
Illusion?
Which will go later because abhi nahi to both confused ho jayenge. But yes, fundamentally you're right. It's the Atma that has created everything, including the universe, including you, me.
Yeah, and this is a pretty tough concept, the Atma concept. It's something, it's a subtle body we can still sort of associate.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's an object.
So, yeah.
See, subtle body is an object. Atma is not even an object.
But you think of Atma as God, then it starts making sense.
Well,
right?
But see, we make it easy on ourselves by assuming we say, okay, Atma ko humne Bhagwan ki picture de di, Krishna Bhagwan ban gaya. Because we are so used to seeing objects, we have to see an object in front of us. Otherwise, we can't think of something which is, our mind is not capable of understanding something which is formless, timeless.
Yeah.
So therefore, we give it an image and we call it God. But as we go along, I'll prove to you why it has to be like this and no other way. Because if it was any other way, if Atma was actually something, a body with an object, you would ask the question, how did that get created? Because it's got a form. You can break it up into new forms. It's an unending chain of causality that you will get into.
So, Nitu, if somebody is brain dead, but he's in a vegetative state, his Atma is still there?
What do you mean his Atma?
Meaning his Atma. Meaning his, is his subtle body dead or is it alive?
Subtle body is a different question. You can say his subtle body, I understand. You can say his physical body, I understand. But you can't say his Atma.
Right. So is his subtle body dead?
If he's a vegetable state, so I don't know if he's actually alive, his subtle body is there. If he's actually dead, then his subtle body is not there.
Brain death means he can't conceive or cognitively intact or nothing like that. So,
but Didi, even when you go to sleep, deep sleep, the same thing happens. Not dreaming, deep sleep.
Not the same, because when you shake a person up, he wakes up.
Right.
In a vegetative state, they don't.
I'm only saying that even in deep sleep, our mind shuts down.
It just means that the physical body is not able to perform what the subtle body is experiencing.
But that's what I need to ask, that we think that the person is basically dead and doesn't understand, doesn't feel, doesn't do anything. So are we wrong in that thinking then? I don't know.
How can anybody answer that question? Nobody will be able to answer that kind of a question. And how does it matter?
And we don't know, Didi, what you can see is, are there signs of life? Are his cells multiplying? Is he breathing on his own? All those things are signs of life. But the question is not whether he is, the question that you have to answer and you in your mind is not whether at this moment he is thinking or not. What you have to answer and what you're worried about is, can he in the future ever come back to a thinking state? That's the point. In deep sleep also, we are not thinking, but we know that we will wake up and come back into it. You're not going to bury and burn a person who's just sleeping. But the reason why you call a person, pronounce a person dead and say, I don't want to, I give up, is because you've lost hope that that person will ever come back. That's the key.
I mean, the other important question is whether he's feeling anything. He or she.
You have no idea of knowing, no way of knowing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Vedanta can't answer this question. Let's put it this way. Gita doesn't.
Ask this from your Guruji when you talk to him next.
No. You find a Guruji and ask. Everybody take responsibility for your own enlightenment and your own thing.
ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਸਾਡਾ ਤੇ ਨਿੱਟੂ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੈ ਹੁਣ.
For the time being.
Yeah.
As long as you can, as long as it works, pretty soon you'll say, oh, Nittu nu nahi pata, I need more.
Nahi.
I'll tell you.
Let us reach that stage.
Nobody has explained this the way you are explaining the first couple of sessions. Nobody. We've attended other Gita sessions. This is remarkably deeper than anything that we have witnessed so far.
No, Tony Bhaiya, because I have studied it the proper way with people who have explained it to me.
Yeah.
So that is why I said that to understand Gita or any scripture, you have to understand these things properly. Yeah. Now, when you read the Gita, even with this little knowledge, when you read the Gita, you will see, if you could understand Sanskrit, the shlokas will mean different things to you now. Right? They'll mean differently.
Right now, we are not reading, we are just listening to you.
Yeah, because I'm just explaining. We have not even gone into the Gita yet, but we will go into the Gita. Yeah. The chapter 2 of the Gita, we'll definitely go and cover it. Okay. I'll take you through the Sanskrit verses, I'll give you the translation, explain them to you, and you can see what they're saying.
So, Nittu, now you know Sanskrit, obviously?
Yeah.
I know a little bit of Sanskrit, enough to translate. I'm learning Sanskrit 3 times a week from a chap in India.
Wow.
So, because this is my interest now, this is like, it's not, I want to do more and more, not less.
Yeah. Well, the more you know, the more you want to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's a retirement, this is a good thing to do.
Oh, you're not retired with this. You're creating something else. It's awesome.
No, it's good. I mean, I enjoy it. So that's why I do it.
That's the key. He enjoys it.
Yeah. And it's easy to be a Karam Yogi doing this because there's no material benefit anyway. So,
yeah.
Okay. So, let me see. So next time we'll start digging a little bit deeper into this whole thing. By the way, just to make sure before I finish, yeah. So the other 2 points you're clear. When the physical body dies, the subtle body does not die, that we talked about. And our karmas determine our physical body. This we'll take up next time, because this is very important. See, we think that our body determines our karmas. Our intentions determine our karma, jo hum kar rahe hain, right? But actually, it's the other way around. In Vedanta, like I said, it's all about experience. And experience means what? Experience means action. So our karmas actually are the centerpiece of Vedanta. It's all about the karmas. The karmas continue, and depending upon which karmas have to be addressed during a lifetime, everything depends on that. So then the body is given, which is suitable for the karma. The lok, whether it's Brahma Loka or Swarag or Narak and all, is given depending upon which karma. So our karmas determine everything. Even the God creates this world. When he creates the earth, God creates it based on the collective karmas of everybody who's on the earth. So this is the law of karma, which is very centerpiece to Vedanta. So next time I'm going to send you over the weekend, the next weekend, I'll send you the homework. I'll describe a little bit about the karmas. short one, and then we can go through it, and then next time when we meet, we'll understand that. And then uske baad maybe one more session, and then after a couple more sessions, then we'll start getting into the Gita. So that's also fascinating in its own way.
Right.
Very interesting. Very, very good.
Okay.
Thanks, Nitu.
Chalo. So thank you very much. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Yes.
We'll be here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
my
thank you,
pleasure.
thank you.
No, it's my pleasure and
Yeah,
my
it's
honor.
really
Privilege,
very-
privilege.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very
Okay.
interesting.
So you'll send us the video,
Synopsis.
the recording,
I will send you a
please.
recording, and then I'll also send you the homework 1 week from today, next weekend.
Perfect.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Everybody
Bye.
have a good rest of the weekend.